Be pissed or you can quit.
I'm not a fucking quitter. I'm just pissed. We're gonna take him to one of the Instacares around here. This is my favorite car that we moved.
That one's gonna swing backwards and knock you off.
I'm trying to figure out like how much work we actually did for this total project. So by the end of this video, we're gonna try to do a guesstimate. We might butcher it, but we're gonna try to guess how much money we actually gave to my parents through sweat equity. Because it's kind of like giving them money. It's a trade.
We gave them time.
Without the trade back, but they did raise me, so yeah.
They wiped your ass.
They wiped my butt. I didn't ask for it though. I just woke up one day.
You would have been in a shitload of trouble had they not.
Yeah.
Literally.
In part one, you got to see us taking down all these walls.
We did a lot of deconstruction on a building that his parents have purchased, but it was an old building, so we had to do a lot of work on it and basically gut more than a third of the building. There's a lot more work to do that you'll see in this video.
It stopped filming. I'm not gonna rehook something to film. And you can see this drop ceiling that's a grid and has all these lights. We had to take all that down. I forgot to film that part. All the lighting, we're gonna have to figure out a place to donate. And then I started on taking the ducting down.
I would cut the other one first. That one's gonna swing backwards and knock you off.
Somehow we keep on getting into these construction projects and they just keep on getting bigger. First we help renovate a dead person's house where they were rotting in the floor. And then we help our friends Kelly and Mike do a project here and there. And now we're doing this big ass project. Cut myself a bit. Not on that shit. On that thing right there. That mask is hurting my nose.
Oh, look at mine.
See the red lines you get? Well, we got the ducting down and all those lights and the walls. So we've gotten a lot of shit done. We bought a house. This is our house we just bought. It's beautiful.
It's a warehouse.
It's a warehouse. Actually,
we're gonna wear our house.
I would totally live in a warehouse. I would have like gymnastics rings hanging from the ceiling right there. That beam. We would want some of the walls that we just tore down.
I like the open floor plan.
Yeah.
That's what you always say.
I like the open floor plan, but I like having a bedroom too. This building probably gets cold as though.
Well, it will now that all the heat's disconnected. Yep, there's no ducting anymore. And look what we've still got to get.
Oh, we still
out
have
of here.
a lot of shit to organize. Just the electrical boxes that we had to deal with. That's just some of them.
The walls I haven't torn apart yet.
Yeah, and he's already like organizing actually.
Way over there.
Taking a lot of nails out of boards, and they look nice. He saved a lot of lumber. BS insulation, all that metal framework for the lighting way over there in the corner. That shit's a nightmare. I am so fucking itchy with fiberglass.
What's all these boards laying out here for?
This is Naomi. She wanted to do an obstacle course. Naomi is my niece, and she's my sister Ashley's daughter. And she was trying to do it right there, and I was like, no, you ain't doing it right there. I'll grab you some non-nail board. So she was doing this. And then I got her a straighter board, and she wanted the wobbly one because it was harder.
She's like you. You're rolling so fast, you're not thinking about what you're saying.
I just talk shit, Chris. Then I'm filming. We should talk about what the video is. Do you want me to turn off the camera?
No, let's film. Let's film.
See, in the last video, we kind of had like the question, do we get along all the time? Hell no.
No.
This last couple days, he had a headache, and every time he has a headache, he gets really mean. And I'm not saying that I haven't been mean, but you have been mean consistently for like 2 days. Just like you snappy at things that I didn't even do on purpose or even try to do anything mean, but like you're snapping. And I told you my tolerance is getting less.
Yep.
So the paint booth is going around here. So we have to pull up all this carpet.
Look,
All the stuff in the way.
that's exactly where we need to work next.
We took all of this ducting and we flattened it out so we could fit it all in this bin and fill it up. That is metal load number 1.
This is like the worst glue that could have been used.
I thought we were coming here to do a paint booth. We still have to do the carpet. I'm not looking forward to this.
There's nothing that's gonna grind that.
It'll get all grimy.
Yeah, it can't sand because it's sticky. It's gonna have to have a solvent. There's nothing that's gonna be non-toxic that gets that up. Maybe we should go and see if we can find some of those tools. So much for you not getting dirty today. Oh my God, look how sticky that is.
This whole project took over a month. I had over 600 video clips to edit, and that's why there's 2 parts to this whole deconstruction project. I want you to try to cut a piece and just try to start pulling, just see what you feel.
Oh my God. I can't even get to pull it off. Leave it until tomorrow. Be pissed or you can quit.
I'm not a fucking quitter. I'm just pissed. I can be pissed. Fucking annoying as hell. Don't use this carpet. Don't put that much fucking glue. I did most of the pulling of the actual carpet, and it was one of the worst jobs I've done. It's definitely not as bad as getting frostbite on my toes. On the oil rigs, that definitely sucked worse because it had like a permanent consequence, but this still sucked. Here's all the carpet. There's more carpet. Then my mom and me took the carpet to the dump, and now it's time to start the glue. I saturated the whole floor with water because I did not want to use chemicals. And then I started scraping the glue. I did this for a couple days. I ruined a pair of shoes. We got the floors pretty well done until the floor is gonna be finished by a professional, even though I got most of the glue off. This part right here, that's actually a leveling substance. The professionals have to come and grind down some uneven spots of the floor, and then they're gonna put an epoxy down. All the wire from in there, more wire like phone lines, copper pipes, flexible conduit, all of this metal. This is actually our second load right here. We just made $276.35. No wonder why people that are really poor in like these areas like Detroit like steal all the copper wires. Then we moved a bunch of cars from my parents' old shop to their new shop. This is their showroom. These jacks are awesome. They allow you to move a car sideways. This is my favorite car that we moved. Okay, from this showroom, you can see that there's some storage spaces near it. And then you walk through this hallway. That's where the air compressor is gonna go, where that tarp is. And then you go to the main part of the shop. The part of the shop we did all the deconstruction.
Yeah, that's nasty dust-covered insulation, isn't it? Looks much better. Let's see your hands. Such a clean job.
Boy, I don't got a hat.
We look so filthy, Chris.
I'll get my hat.
Did you expect us to be like this for a month?
No.
Doing this project, Chris got something in his eye. That almost looks like pink eye, but we know it was from something.
Debris fell in it. I don't even know exactly where. Which spot in the shop. Dust or whatever was up on top of one of those beams. Yeah, I think it's whatever it is maybe up under my eyelid.
How do they get that?
How do they get it out?
Yeah.
I guess they had to fold my eyelid back. I don't know.
Ouch.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
We're gonna take him to one of the Instacares around here. Hopefully it's nothing serious, but his eye is definitely swelling up.
Oh, I know it's swollen. There's no question.
Did you get it out?
There was nothing in there. He thinks it's bacterial.
Oh,
So I'm going to go over to Walmart and get a topical antibiotic.
So it's a bacterial?
Mm-hmm. Probably hasn't gone systemic now.
Serious side effects could occur. Tell your doctor if you feel lightheaded. Limit your time in the sun and wear protective clothing. Avoid exercise. This may help protect your tendons from damage, especially the ones in your ankles.
Seems like people just take medicine without like really caring about the side effects nowadays. This may cause bleeding of the anus. This may cause a headache, but you also might die. You might go blind in one eye. The antibiotics are working.
Yep.
Is it day 3?
I've seen 35 plus Red Cross bills this morning.
After the recommendations of being out of the sun, here's Chris in the sun without protective clothing. It does look better right this second. It looks better. That's good news.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the infection was from?
How would I know? If I knew what it was, I would have ever gotten it.
I am driving a U-Haul right now. We're here for a few more days, I think. It's been a long ordeal. After the recommendations of not doing exercise, here's Chris moving a heavy fridge, and Chris was complaining that the tendons in his ankles were hurting.
Whoa, it ain't going because of the doorknob.
The fridge is working. I put the door back on, and yeah, I know I have holes in my pants. How you feeling, Chris?
Tired.
And dirty.
Tired and dirty.
I mean, I don't mean to be rude. It's definitely a little bit better, but like not that much. Nah.
Like you would expect more of this stuff to come off.
It's basically a little bit better than I left it.
It certainly didn't eat it all off.
No, he was saying that it would just eat this up. That's kind of unfortunate. There's a fellow that's coming in to refinish these floors, even though we already pulled up the carpet and scraped most of the glue off, like over 80% of it. He came in already on Friday, which was yesterday, the day before yesterday, and he put an acid solution on this part of the floor. I think he did it on this side too, actually. He put acid everywhere because you can see the wet spots. It was supposed to eat this leveling and the glue. It did not eat the leveling stuff. It ate some of the glue, but I already got most of the glue off. It doesn't look that much different, unfortunately. But he's gonna come and patch some concrete, and then he's gonna put like an epoxy solution or epoxy stuff on the floor, and it's gonna look hopefully better. So the floor is done. There's definitely some issues right here. I would have expected better right there. I still think it looks better. Most people would come into the shop now and be like, oh, they wouldn't notice the floor. Because he definitely blended the two sides better than it was. It's not completely level, unfortunately. I kind of wonder if it was really worth $6,000. You can just see like ripples. I don't think it was. It's not 100% level though, you could tell. Like you can see a big hump up here. See this floor right here? Definitely not level 100%.
I thought there was going to be more leveling out before he put the epoxy on here.
But at least there's no cracks. There were cracks all over. I mean, it was a hell of a project just to get the walls and this looking decent so they could actually finish the floor. And then we had to take the paint booth down and the mixing room. The paint booth was actually pretty easy to take down compared to the deconstruction of this building that we just did. Looking good, Grandma?
Yeah, it's looking good.
So the paint booth was right here. You can kind of see the square. It is gone now. And then I had to take this mixing room down for the paint booth. I'm not going to film a lot just because I have filmed so much already and I just want to get it done. We took down the mixing room and the paint booth. The floor still has to have a couple more days to dry before you put heavy stuff on it. So we took down the paint booth, but we can't rebuild it. My brother is coming though, and he's going to help my stepdad do it. And you can tell we did not tear down the electrical room, which saved us a lot of time and saved my parents some money. How many U-Haul loads did we take to this place?
I have no idea. No idea.
10?
Probably.
All of these that were holy we decided to take down, and then Chris and I and my family did a bunch of weeding. We got a ton of bags of weeds. Hopefully it helps the curbside appeal. Once we got the paint booth taken down, my brother did show up and stepped up to the plate and helped rebuild it in the new shop, the newer shop.
So they will have their equipment all up and running.
Yeah.
Which is important.
Unfortunately, the floor is not
holding up.
lasting.
It's a bummer.
It's flaking off, or they'll drive a car, and I guess it'll stick to the tires.
Oh my
The
gosh.
floor itself, so it's
Wow.
not sticking. That's a downside. And they have a bunch of heavy equipment now on the floor. Yeah, like what do? Even if they like fix certain spots, it's like they're not gonna like take down the paint booth now.
Yeah. So now that's going to have been a waste of funds, potentially.
How much work do you think we did in total, like in price, in sweat equity?
My guess is around $50,000
$50,000?
of sweat equity.
Of sweat
Not
equity,
cash.
not cash. Hey, that works. That counts.
It counts. It's
Flippers, that's what flippers do.
50,000 that they didn't have to put into something else. And you know, that's kind of like, even now that I think about it, when we see what people get and what they do in order to flip it, and that add another 150,000 to it, maybe we added more than 50,000 because we did a lot more tear down than flippers have to do.
So maybe we're wrong. I mean, we're not professionals, clearly. Look at all the sketchy things we did in part 1.
So now that that's done, we got his parents taken care of. We've been back here. We helped rip up some carpet in one of our friends' units here so that they could get those floors refinished. And now we're looking at places where we hope to move and hopefully put in an offer on a house.
We almost made an offer on another house. We just missed it. You know, there's that song like, sometimes I thank God for unanswered prayers.
Yeah.
We did pray a little bit. I prayed to the universe. You probably prayed more to God, but I feel like I'm glad that the first one did not work. But thank you all for following us over the years. It means a lot. If you're not subscribed and you want to, feel free to subscribe. We want our subscribers to go
Up.
Why Russ?
And Chris.
Love you long time.